Hi friends, this is Simran. A very warm welcome to all of you in my channel The Recipe Hut. In this video, I am sharing my favorite 5 lunchbox ideas for kids. My kiddo loves it. So let's get started. For busy Monday mornings, I like to give a no-cook lunchbox. Hence, we are gonna make yogurt sandwich. We'll start by making a coriander and mint paste. For that, in a blender, I'm adding 1 cup of cilantro or coriander, a few mint leaves, and some lemon juice. And now we're just gonna blend it. This coriander and mint paste can be stored in the refrigerator for 3 to 4 days easily, but remember not to add salt in it. In 3 tablespoons of yogurt, I am gonna add 1.5 teaspoons of the cilantro and mint paste that we made. You can also pack this in the lunch boxes after adding a little salt and pepper as a dip instead of packing the store-bought ketchup, which is loaded with sugar and preservatives. For this sandwich, I'm using a multigrain bread, but you can use any bread of your choice. To make this sandwich a little more fun for the little ones, I am cutting the bread slices with the help of this bowl into a circular shape, but this is completely optional. The bread slices are ready. Do not throw these pieces away because we are going to use this for the next recipe. Now, in a bowl, add 1 tablespoon of finely grated carrot, 1 tablespoon of grated cucumber, and I've squeezed out the water from it, and 1 tablespoon of finely chopped spinach. You can basically add any vegetable of your choice. Now to this, I'm adding 1.5 tablespoons of hung yogurt. We just need to make sure that all the vegetables are nicely coated with the yogurt. If needed, you can add a little more. To make this hung yogurt, I generally put a couple of tablespoons of yogurt in a strainer over a glass and I keep it in the fridge overnight. So the next morning, the hung yogurt is ready. Or if you have Greek yogurt available, you can use that instead. To this mixture, add a pinch of salt and some black pepper, but this is also optional. And now just give it a good mix. Now on 1 slice of bread, we are just adding the yogurt and vegetable mixture that we made. Spread it evenly. For this sandwich, we are using the hunker because it will not make our sandwich soggy. Now with the other slice of bread, I'm just gonna close it, and on this side, I am putting the coriander, mint and yogurt sauce that we made. Spread it nicely. To this, I am also gonna add a pinch of salt because we had not added any salt before. So our quick and yummy yogurt sandwich is ready. Let's pack the lunchbox. First, we'll add the yogurt sandwich. And now I'm adding some homemade mint makhana, also known as fox nuts. I'll also be adding the recipe link of this in the description box. If you want, you can check it out. Now I'm adding some blueberries and raspberries. You can add any fruit of your choice. I also added some figs. And now in this container, I'm adding some orange slices. So our yummy and quick no-cook lunchbox is ready. Let's move to the next one. For the next lunchbox, we are going to make vegetable cutlets. In a blender, I'm going to grind the leftover bread pieces into a coarse powder, and now we just keep it aside. Now heat a skillet, add a tablespoon of olive oil. To this, I'm going to add a tablespoon of finely chopped onions, sauteed for a few seconds. And then I'll be adding approximately 2 tablespoons of finely chopped green beans and 1 tablespoon of finely chopped carrots, and we are just gonna saute this for a minute or 2. After cooking it for 2 minutes, I am gonna add 2 tablespoons of finely chopped bell pepper or capsicum. You can also add yellow or red bell pepper. You can basically add any vegetable of your choice. And now we are just gonna saute it and cook it till the time our vegetables are nice and soft. After cooking it on a medium flame for 5 to 6 minutes, I just checked the carrot and it's all cooked. Now we'll turn off the heat and keep it aside. In a separate bowl, I'm adding 2 medium-sized boiled, peeled and mashed potatoes. To this, I added half a cup of flattened rice or poha. I put this poha on a strainer and put it under the water for 3 to 4 seconds and then strained out the water. So now the poha is nice and soft. Adding this is optional, but if you add it, it'll give a very good crispiness to the cutlets. And now to this, I'm adding the vegetables that we sauteed. Add 1/4 cup of finely chopped cilantro, that is dhania. I generally do this part a night before. and I stored it in the fridge without adding any spices or salt. The spices that we'll be adding in these cutlets are half a teaspoon of coriander powder, that is dhania, half a teaspoon of cumin powder, that is zira powder, 1/4 teaspoon of red chili powder, half a teaspoon of dry mango powder, 1/4 teaspoon of chaat masala. You can adjust the spices as per your liking. And now mix everything nicely. Now to this, I'm adding the 1/3 cup of breadcrumbs that we made. Mix everything well. Add salt to taste. Please note, add salt only when you're ready to shallow fry the cutlets. Otherwise, it'll make your mixture soggy. Cutlet mixture is ready. Let's start making the cutlets. You can shape your cutlets in any way you want. Make sure there are no cracks on the cutlets because otherwise when you put it on the skillet, it'll break. Our cutlets are ready. Now we'll heat a pan, add olive oil. Now I'm just coating all the cutlets with the breadcrumbs that we made. Make sure that the cutlets get coated nicely from all the sides. Once the pan is hot, we'll add the cutlets and we're gonna cook this on medium heat. So after a minute, we're just gonna turn it and cook it from the other side. So we'll just keep turning it and cooking it from all the sides. If you want, you can also deep fry it, but I prefer cooking it like this. And now I'm just cooking it from the two sides that were left. We just want it to get nice and golden brown from all the sides. So the vegetable cutlet looks nice and crispy from all the sides. We'll just take it out on a paper towel. Cutlets are ready, time to pack our lunchbox. With the cutlets, I am packing these fruit kebabs. If you're packing lunchbox for small kids, consider slicing the grapes. In some hung yogurt, I am adding a little bit of honey. You can also add a pinch of cinnamon powder to this. So this will be like a dip to have with the fruit kebabs. Now adding a few cucumber slices and one date and nut bar. If you want the recipe of this, I'll be adding the link in the description box. You can check it out. Our tasty and healthy lunchbox is ready. Let's move to the next one. For the next lunchbox, we are gonna make spinach paratha. For that, I've taken half a cup of whole wheat flour, half a cup of finely chopped spinach, 1 tablespoon finely chopped onions, salt to taste, half a teaspoon of coriander powder, 1/4 teaspoon of red chili powder, but this is optional, and 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder. I like to add the turmeric powder because of its medicinal properties. To knead this dough, I am adding approximately 2 tablespoons of yogurt. Now we will knead the dough of medium consistency. If you feel that your mixture is a little dry, you can add a little water, or if it is too sticky, then you can add a little bit of dry whole wheat flour. After kneading it for a few minutes, you will notice that it has come together. At this stage, we will just cover it with a damp cloth and we'll let it rest for 5 to 10 minutes. It's been 10 minutes and you can see that the dough is ready. Time to roll the parathas. For that, I've taken half of the dough and I'm just rolling it. Now we'll dust it in the dry whole wheat flour. Lay it on a flat surface and with the help of a rolling pin, we'll just start rolling the paratha. To this, I added a pinch of carom seeds and a pinch of salt. Now adding a little bit of ghee and spreading it nicely. Now we're just gonna fold it in half and then apply a little more ghee on this side. This will also ensure that the paratha remains soft for a longer time. And now we're just gonna fold it like this. I am giving it a square shape. If you want, you can make it triangular or circular also. Again, I dusted it in some dry whole wheat flour. And now we'll start rolling it gently. Lifting it and turning it, and then again I'm rolling it from the other side. This will ensure that it gets rolled evenly and it doesn't stick at the base. If you find that your paratha is sticking at the base, you can always dust it in some more dry whole wheat flour and then continue rolling it. Now heat a skillet. Once it's hot, add a teaspoon of ghee and to this add your paratha. We'll cook this on high heat for half a minute or till it turns golden brown. Once it's cooked, I'm adding a little more ghee on the sides and a little more on the top. And now I'm just gonna flip it and cook it from the other side. Once you see light golden brown spots on both the sides, that means our paratha is cooked. Take it off the skillet, and now I'm just cutting it into 4 parts. It gets a little easier for the kids to eat it. For the side dip, I've taken 2 tablespoons of yogurt, added a pinch of salt and a pinch of black salt, a little bit of dry mint powder. Give it a good mix. I'm also adding a pinch of cumin powder. So the dip is also ready. Let's set the lunchbox. I'm placing the paratha, now the dip, adding some boiled corns, cucumbers and cherry tomatoes. Add any fruit of your choice. I added some kiwis and a strawberry. And now I'm adding some homemade caramel makhanas. I'll be adding the link in the description box on how to make these. If you want, you can check it out. Our delicious and healthy lunchbox is ready. Let's move to the next one. For this lunchbox, we are going to make besan chilas. I've taken half a cup of chickpea flour or besan and half a cup of yogurt. Mix it nicely so there are no lumps in it. This batter should have a runny consistency, so you can add a few tablespoons of water. Give it a good mix. So the batter is all ready. Time to add the vegetables in it. 1 tablespoon of finely grated carrots, approximately 2 tablespoons of finely chopped onions, 1 tablespoon of finely grated beetroot, and 2 tablespoons of finely chopped spinach. You can add any vegetable of your choice in this. And now we'll just give everything a good mix. You can add a tablespoon or 2 of water to adjust the consistency of the batter. And now we'll let this mixture rest for 5 to 10 minutes. So it's been 10 minutes. Now I'm adding salt to taste. Please note that we'll be adding salt once we are ready to make the chilas. And I also added a little water to adjust the consistency. And now I'm adding a pinch of pepper. Mix everything well. Now we are ready to make the chilas. I've taken a skillet, added some ghee. Once it's hot, we'll pour the batter. You don't need to spread it too much. And I'm making 2 chilas. After cooking it on medium heat for a minute or 2, you will start noticing bubbles on the top. This is an indication that it's cooked from one side. And now we're just gonna flip it and cook it from the other side. Similar manner, I'm flipping the second one. After cooking it for a few minutes, or once the chila is nice golden brown from both the sides, we'll just turn off the heat and keep this aside. To pack it in the lunchbox, I am cutting it like a pizza. Now place this, and on the side I'm adding the yogurt and coriander mint dip that we made. To this I'm adding a little salt and pepper. Give it a good mix. Now adding a few cucumber and carrot slices, adding a few watermelon pieces. To make it a little more interesting, I scooped out the watermelon with the help of a round scoop that gave a round shape to the pieces. Adding some cashews, almonds and raisins. So our fun, tasty and healthy lunchbox is ready. Let's move to the last one. For this we are going to make potato pancakes. I've taken 2 medium-sized washed potatoes, peeled it, and now I'm just going to grate it. After grating both the potatoes, we are going to dip it in cold water. And after 20 to 30 seconds, using a muslin cloth, I'm just draining the water. Squeeze out the excess water. And now to this, I'm adding salt to taste, a little bit of black pepper, and 3 to 4 teaspoons of chickpea flour or besan. Chickpea flour will basically help in binding the potatoes together. Now we need to mix it very nicely till it comes together. For an added flavor, I'm adding a pinch of oregano, but this is completely optional. So our mixture is ready. Time to make the pancakes. Take a skillet, add some ghee or any oil of your choice. Once it's hot, add a generous amount of the potato mixture that we made. So I'm going to make 2 pancakes. And now we'll just let it cook from one side on low to medium heat. Make sure not to cook it on high heat because otherwise it'll turn brown from the outside but the potatoes will be raw from inside. So you need to cook it on medium to low heat. With the help of a spatula and a knife, I'm giving these a square shape. After a minute, or when it turns light golden brown from one side, we are gonna flip it. And now we'll be cooking it from the other side. So after cooking it for a few minutes from both the sides, our pancakes are all cooked. Time to set the lunchbox. So I'm placing the pancakes or the potato patties. On the side, I'm giving the yogurt mint dip that we made. In this lunchbox, I'm also gonna add fruit sticks. So I've slit a grape and in between I'm placing a piece of cheese. And on top of it, 2 blueberries. Instead of blueberries, you can also use pineapple if you have it, and that also tastes really good. Now adding some cherry tomatoes, some cucumbers, and as a treat, I'm adding the homemade oatmeal bar. I'll be adding a link in the description box on how to make it. If you want, you can check it out. So our last yummy lunchbox is also ready. Friends, do try these lunchbox recipe for your kids, and if you try it, do not forget to tell us in the comments how it turned out for you. Thumbs up if you liked the video, subscribe and also click on the bell icon so you get an update when I upload a new recipe. Thanks for watching.